Pros and cons of building a home in Edmonton. I'm going to talk about that in this video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about the pros and the cons of building a house in Edmonton. Now, you may be on the market and think that building a home in Edmonton is either the way to go or like, no way are you going to go do this. So I'm going to list out what I think are pros as an Edmonton realtor. I also have lived in 2 new build homes and bought a resale home. So I'm very familiar with the pros and cons as a homeowner, but also as a realtor. So one of the first pros of building a home in Edmonton is the warranty period. So the nice thing is that all homes have to have warranty, no matter what builder you're with, whether it's a big volume builder or a smaller builder, they do have to hold a warranty policy. Now you have a 1-year warranty, which is for everything in the home, 2-year warranty for the distribution system. So that's everything behind the walls, like plumbing and electrical. You have a 5-year envelope. So that's the envelope of your home, keeping it all, no water coming into the house, and a 10-year structural warranty. These are standard warranties. And when you buy a resale home, you don't have this type of warranty. You have a home inspection, so you know if things are good or not, or what you're getting yourself into, but you definitely don't have a warranty. Another pro is that you've had a home that's never been lived in. Now, that is something that's sometimes really important to people. They don't want to use a toilet that someone else has used, or they don't want a house that someone else has lived in before. They want a brand new home, and obviously the only way to do that is if you're going to buy a brand new build home. But what are some of the cons? I'm going to go back to some more pros, but right now I'm going to talk to you about some of the cons of building a home in Edmonton. So if you're building from scratch, that timeline is kind of a huge con because you never know how long things are going to take. You don't know how many delays are going to happen because of the weather. If it's raining too much or snowing too much, it can delay a lot of different things. If it's -40, they're not going to be working on framing. So you have to take into consideration the risk of time. And also time is also the landscaping. So if you bought a place and rough grade needs to get done, which is usually done by the builder, they're trying to wait for all the other ones that also are waiting in line to get that done. Maybe you're getting them to do landscaping for final grade. You have to wait for that as well. So it's none of that timing is in your control. So timing is going to be something that's one of the bigger cons of building in Edmonton. Another con of building in Edmonton is the price. The price point used to be cheaper than buying resale, but over the last few years, it's gone really high, and now it's normalized again, but it's still, of course, a little bit more expensive than buying a resale home, especially because you don't have any window coverings included, you don't have a deck, you don't have the sometimes garage if it's detached garage home, so you've got added extra costs. Now, that being said, one of the pros of building in Edmonton, especially with the bigger builders, they usually include your legal fees. So you've got the majority of your legal fees covered, the disbursements are never covered, but when you buy a resale home, your legal fees are all on yourself. There is no coverage of fees there. Another great feature of a brand new home is they've got all eco-friendly type homes. So they're really airtight. So what does that mean? Utilities shouldn't be leaving. So like your hot air doesn't leave the house, which is money leaving the house in the winter, and it's airtight, so everything's more energy efficient, which means your utility bills should be lower. Usually you have LED lights. Now on a resale home, obviously you can change your lights, but your home isn't built as airtight as a brand new house would be built. And so you want to take a look at that and see and weigh the cost if it's actually important to you, but that is a pro to have all those energy efficient features. So a con of having a brand new or building a house in Edmonton is also the fact that everything is so airtight. So sometimes people think that's a good thing, but sometimes the houses do need to breathe a little bit. So now there's easy solutions that builders have done. HRV systems are usually put into place, and you are making sure that the house is breathing in and out. So make sure that when you're buying new builds, you do see that HRV. Otherwise, that house is almost too airtight and is not breathing properly and may have ventilation issues potentially. So of course, another pro of building a home in Edmonton is brand new finishings, modern finishings. You've got the quartz countertops, which is in, you've got trendy cabinets, you've got the luxury vinyl planking flooring. everything is done and ready for you to move in. And if you live in that home for 5 years and don't do any updates, the equity continues to grow. When you're buying a resale home and you buy it that's a little bit older and you don't do any updates to the house for 5 years, your value doesn't necessarily grow depending on the area you've invested in. And so the value may decrease because you've done nothing to update that property. If the land is worth something, then the value will go up there over time, but you have to think about the cosmetic finishes inside of a home. So what are your pros and cons of building a house in Edmonton? Pop them down below. I'm sure one of the cons for some people, depending on the builder, is that the service, they don't come back and fix things. But another pro is that they come back and fix things, and that's all builder dependent and customer service related. So obviously I didn't say that as a pro or con because it really depends on the builder when it comes to building your home. I would highly encourage you to research not just new builds, but also resale. I find that a lot of people do not intersect. So when they're just building a home, they just stay in their lane. And when they're looking at resale homes, they just stay in their lane. But it is valuable to take a look at both properties to see what truly is the best for you and your family.